veterans or it's the military or it's the homeschoolers. We're going to go to everyone and talk to them and hear their concerns. Agriculture, that's such a big piece of our district, and talk to them and hear their concerns and identify the issues that are important to them, and then work for their support and get them to come on board. And then so it's a lot of work. It's labor intensive, but it really gets you in touch with the district.
Well, it's a big district, right?
It is. It's about 100 miles wide. It goes all the way over to Rochester.
Yeah, so that's a lot of doors to knock on.
It is. It is. We're knocking on doors. We're going through businesses and business districts. We're doing coffees, meet and greets, whatever people are comfortable doing. Many people have opened up their homes, whatever it takes to get out in the community and the district and meet them and talk to them.
What's the registration in the district?
It's about 50-50.
It is?
Slightly more Democratic, but when you put the Conservatives in with the Republican, it's pretty split. It's pretty even.
Okay, interesting. Fundraising, of course, is an important part of a campaign on this kind of a level. How's that been going so far?
Well, it's okay. I wouldn't say it's been great. I think that the endorsement we just received will probably help us out with grassroots. It's a grassroots effort, and a lot of folks out there are struggling. So we see $5, $10, $25, $50 contributions, and that's coming from their heart, and that's people making sacrifices. But that's what we're getting, and that's fine. That's
the endorsement you were talking about with Sarah Palin, which for fundraising purposes certainly is helpful.
Yes, what her endorsement does, one of the things it does is it gets national attention on our campaign. And so, you see it in the Wall Street Journal, you see it in the Daily News, and it sheds a light on this race, a race that now has been identified as a competitive race and a seat that can be won. So it gives us the opportunity to now have more of a national fundraising effort.
Well, when that happens, too, then the national party starts to take notice of it, too, right? Do you expect help in that area?
I would think so. The NRCC, the National Republican Congressional Committee, has been very involved. Not any contributions, but they're always there for advice, for resources if we need them. And I would expect at some point, but they've noticed the race right from the start.
Okay. When do you start really doing as much advertising as you can, and where do you target it? Which areas do you target it in?
Well, that's a great point, because we have two markets here. We have two media markets over in Monroe County and over here in this eastern part of the district. I would not think we would do much until much closer to the election. And really right now, as we talked about, grassroots, getting into meetings and town halls and coffees and talking to people, that's the best advertisement. The best thing I can do for my campaign is to go out and meet people, let them be able to have access to me, ask me questions, hear my positions on various issues. That's what does the best thing for me. That's the best form of advertising.
What about debates?
Oh, I would welcome debates. We will be aggressive in setting up as many debates as the congressman will agree to. We will be very aggressive, because that's what the people in the district they deserve. That they deserve to hear, and I'd love to see debates on various issues so we can really get into some depth rather than just touching upon them. A healthcare debate, a financial reform debate, the role of government debate, and really get into the issues and be able to show the voters that there is a big difference between the congressman and between myself. And they have a choice this November. That's what this election is about. And so I would welcome debates, and I hope he'll agree to do them with us.
Have you approached him at all yet about that?
We approached him. We invited him to a town hall meeting in Manlius that he didn't come to.
Okay. All right. We're going to take some calls in a minute. I'll let the calls rack up. We have to take a break in just a second, too, and then we'll come back and take some phone calls. How do you then, because the district's so big, and because it does include parts of Rochester, and now you're in Onondaga, how far north and south does it go?
Well, we have all of Onondaga County. We have the northern third of Cayuga County.
Okay.
We have all of Wayne, and then three towns, Penfield, Irondequoit, and Webster in Monroe County.
Wow.
So it's about 104 miles wide.
So then how do you decide, when you can only be in so many places, in a single day? I mean, there's only 24 hours a day. And so how then do you determine where we're going to go? And, it's got to take a lot of planning on a district this big, and doing it like you're doing it, like you said, grassroots.
Well, what we're going to do is run a race in each town. We're going to get a chairman and a volunteer force in each town. There's 43 towns in the district. And with them, we'll do door-to-door. With them, we'll do meet and greets. With them, and we'll work with them. We'll have, as if it were a town supervisor race. Mm-hmm. That's how local we're going to make it. And you're right. It's labor-intensive, and but it's what I want to do. I want to get my message out to the voters who live here, give them the choice this November, and so it's exciting. And I got to tell you, Jim, the best part about this has been the folks that you meet along the way, the people who love this country, who are concerned about this country, who are taking notice of the country and everything that's going on, and they want to be involved. That is the highlight, hands down, of this whole campaign.
Yeah, it's got to be it. That's the point. That's the part that's probably the best about the whole thing.
It sure is.
All right, let's take a break. We'll come back and take some calls for Anne-Marie Burkle. It's time for all-day traffic and weather together.
In downtown, 690 West, between 81 and West Street, traffic is down to one lane due to ongoing roadwork. Traffic is starting to back up towards Teal Avenue. 690 West at Teal Avenue, the right lane is closed due to roadwork. Use caution through this area. Traffic is heavy but moving well as you leave downtown on 81 North and head towards Hiawatha Boulevard and the Thruway. And traffic remains heavy on the Thruway in both directions between 690 and 481. Traffic and weather together on the 10s in the morning. In the WSYR Price Chopper Traffic Center, I'm Justin James.
We're dodging the wet weather for the next 24 hours or so, then a brief break in the wet weather as we head into Thursday as we heat things up close to 90 degrees. But scatter showers and thunderstorms kind of off and on through this evening and tonight. Some of those can produce some very heavy rainfall. 68 for the overnight low. Scatter showers and storms, 86 for tomorrow, but sunny, hot, dry, 90 on Thursday. Thunderstorms at upper 80s on Friday. I'm Michael Palmer from the Weather Channel on Central New York's weather station, News Radio 570 WSYR.
73 in Oswego. 85 in Syracuse. Your calls with Anne-Marie Burkle next on the Jim Reith Show on News Radio 570 WSYR.
Hello, Toyota.
Amanda, age 3. Tyler, age 8. Marissa, age 4.5.
We could tell you just how many child abductions last year led to Amber Alerts, but this isn't about cold statistics. It's about saving kids.
Shaniqua, age 14.
To get free Amber Alerts on your cell phone, go to wirelessamberalerts.org. When an alert is issued in your area, you'll receive it as a free text message. wirelessamberalerts.org. A child is calling for help. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
As a dad, you'll probably spend years teaching your son how to hit a baseball, how to throw a tight spiral and hit a receiver, how to spring off a diving board and hit the water, how to hit a 1-wood and a 9-iron, how to hit the bullseye, how to hit the strike zone, hit a jump shot, hit the open man, hit the hockey net, and maybe the most challenging of all, how to hit the books. But the question is this: how much time will you spend teaching him what not to hit? Teach your son early and often that all violence against women is wrong.
For tips on what to say, visit opdv.state.ny.us or call the state's 24-hour hotline at 1-800-942-6906. Brought to you by the Family Violence Prevention Fund, the New York State Office for the Prevention of Domestic Violence, the Waite Institute for Violence Prevention, and the Ad Council.
Global warming is here. The effects may seem slight now, but in a few decades, they could be massive. Heat waves, floods, and food shortages. What can we do? We can join together, because when many unite as one, we can achieve anything.
Together, we're powerful. Find out how we can still reduce greenhouse gas pollution. Go to fightglobalwarming.com. Brought to you by Environmental Defense, the Robertson Foundation, and the Ad Council.
We need to really pay some attention to this population and just don't resign them to living a life of crime and going back to prison. When we talk about forgiveness, when we talk about redemption, one person can make a world of difference.
Make a difference. Become a mentor. Call 472-7909 or visit WeBeginAgain.com. When the sentence ends, we begin again.
Ford and Lincoln Mercury Service presents Mike Rowe with some important information about the big tire sale.
Well, that about sums it up, really. It's a tire sale, and it's big.
I'll say, when you buy 4 Goodyear, Continental, Hankook, Yokohama, or Pirelli tires, you get a $100 cash rebate. $100. You forgot to mention that, Mike.
Well, that's why you're here.
Thank you.
It's the big tire sale at